President Buhari's efforts in agriculture gain grounds. The Edo State government says efforts in security yields positive results, plus special on national unity and peaceful coexistence. These and more on Panorama today, reaching you live from the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Obehi Otobo Aprasai. President Yemi Oshibanjo is representing the president today in Sao Tome City for the inauguration of Carlos Manuel Villanova, the newly elected president of Sao Tome and Principe. The vice president is joining other heads of state and government, especially from Africa. The new president of the island Central African country was declared the winner of the runoff election conducted on the 3rd of September 2021 and is taking over from the incumbent president Evaristo Carvalho. The vice president is accompanied by the Foreign Affairs Minister of State, Ambassador Zubeiru Dada. The 1914 colonial amalgamation brought several heterogeneous groupings together. The social distances that were supposed to be abridged to create raised affinity among Nigerians over the years seems to be failing. Peace is under threat, so it seems. In this report, correspondent Goodluck Enaini examines the role of government and the governed in promoting peaceful coexistence as Nigeria marks 61 years anniversary.
Nigeria is no doubt a country blessed with diverse cultures, languages, and beliefs. Analysts say this wealth of cultures, instead of being a source of pride and beauty for the nation, has now become the cause of unrest and disunity within the Nigerian polity. This has often led to religious crises, minority nervousness, and distrust between the numerous ethnic groups that make up the country. This was evident in the Nigerian Civil War, the activities of the Boko Haram sect, among others.
God, in his own wisdom, brought us together. We must build on that.
All that we believe that the Hausa man, the Yoruba man, the Igbo man, the Benin man, the Edo man, whatever you call them, are one and one from the same father. Only that this tribal, whatever is given by God the Almighty to enable us identify ourselves that this man is a Yoruba man, it's not for us to create what you call it a barrier between ourselves.
The basis, the formation of Nigeria is from virtually different ethnic groups, religious groups, and so on and so forth. Definitely it must play. It must reflect in state or national structures. But these differences must be checkmated.
While it is paramount for Nigeria's leadership to develop relevant, sustainable, realistic, and all-inclusive blueprints for Nigeria's development, respondents say there is the need for citizenship education to promote national consciousness and unity.
We should take advantage of our difference, and I believe, God, that we should suspend our difference and cooperate to put the country together. No matter where we are, we have not done too well, but there is hope.
We should start producing those capital goods. Now let the capital goods continue to begin to reflect in our national budget, in state budgets. Then that's the only way we can phantom ways to solve the economic crisis that is leading the nation into a narrow stream.
God will not come from the heaven to change our situation. It is you and I who will rewrite the history of Nigeria.
They want Nigerians to use the 61st anniversary of the nation to reflect on the past and renew commitment to national unity and Nigeria's development. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NT News.
I have with me in the studio an author and publisher, Midwest Herald, and founder, Museum House, Orobosa Omo Ojo. JP is here to discuss more on the national unity and peaceful coexistence. Sir, you're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much for having me. Yeah.
So let's delve right into the matter of the moment. Nigeria is 61 years after independence, and you can say at 61 we have actually aged enough to think and behave as an elder. Can we say that?
Yeah, I think we've aged enough, and we have come of age. We are not aging, we've come of age to be able to decide for ourselves and do things right. And but whether we've gotten our ass together is the big question. Yes, madam.
So much talk this time, both in conventional and social media, have been on issue of national unity and peaceful coexistence. What does this portend, this morning discussion?
Well, because generally I think there is a general apprehension across the land, and that is why it has become a sing-song. That's why it has become a concern. And thank God that we are talking, and I will advise, I will solicit that we do more of talking rather than war. The agitation is quite right, but the violent agitation in session of the country is not a welcome development for us, because we've seen it before. I was old enough to have witnessed the Nigerian Civil War. I was here in Benin City. I was here when the Biafrans overran the old Midwestern region in just 12 hours and came to declare the Republic of Benin here, which lasted for just one day before they were flushed out by the federal troops. And I can tell you that even then, Benin was never as unsettled as we are now, with the fear of kidnapping along our express, with the fear of of breathtaking fear whether there would be a one tribe taking on the other. We've never had it so bad. So maybe that is what is responsible for the discussion about disunity, about the fragile unity within the country, both online, as you put it, and the hard copy media, the electronic, and even discussions within the beer parlor.
So now you have this opportunity being
Yes.
on this forum today to advise on what can return peace and national unity to the country. What do you say?
First and foremost, we need to accentuate, we need to identify factors responsible for the lack of peaceful coexistence amongst all the tribes that God has blessed this nation with. First among is the issue of the fear for lack of respect for federal character. Fear that there is total dislocation about the governance, both at all levels. The fear that a criminal can get away with whatever he or she does, the fear of insecurity, the sharp divide between the have and have not, if you like, the rich, the poor, the lack of job, the lack of health care. They are responsible. Insecurity comes in different dimensions, not just when a gun is pointed at your head. A man, a woman can be so insecure because he or she can afford the next meal. So if we identify these few of these as the reason why there is so much fear in the land. There is so much apprehension on what will happen next. Then your question comes in place to say, what do we do? It's very simple. First, is for Nigerians, because the responsibility is for the led and the leaders.
Yes, I was going to say.
I always believe, and I want to say, of course, I have led before I'm still leading. I was a member of the State Executive Council. I've had strategic ministries where you had assignment to put order in society. And one thing I got was that a leader leads better with his actions. Do what I do is better to inculcate than do what I say. Now, getting it right, we will need to start having leaders that will demonstrate those things that they preach. And what is the role of the led? The electorate, the community members of the community, they must begin to look around them and said, we have to elect this man, we have to appoint this man as the Odionwere, we have to recommend this man to the palace, for instance, to say, let's make him a chief. Because leadership is not just politics alone. And because we looked at these people that they actually demonstrate the things that they preach. And we have to stop selling our votes across board, from councillorship to local government to state to the federal level, to the senators, to the House of Reps, to the House of Assembly members. We must begin to elect people. Yesterday I was discussing with somebody that the person we will need, for instance, in 2023, not a tribal person. I'm somebody that does not give in to the argument to say a president, for instance, must come from the south, he must come from the north, he must come from the east. Let us begin to look at nationalists.
Credibility.
But more like a nationalist will first of all think about this safety, the unity, and the coexistence of Nigerians. Okay. More than what his or our tribe will benefit from the state.
Well, okay, sir. Yes. So we are celebrating 61. What's your prayer for Nigeria going forward?
Prayer.
Finally.
Prayer without work, if you ask me, it doesn't lead anything. I think basically what we need to do is for us to work out. Like I said, is for us to put a cutoff mark on the quality of leaders that we need. Okay. First and foremost, the person must be a nationalist. The person must be that man, that woman that has a desire of every Nigerian at heart. Thank
you very much, Mr. Orobusa Omojo, for coming today to Panorama. I hope when next we give you an invite, you will honor our invitation. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
So it's now time for a break. When we return, Panorama continues. Please stay with us. The Nigerian government has developed and presented guidelines for livestock feed formulators and producers to meet approved standards that will be globally competitive and acceptable. This comes as the Standards Organization of Nigeria, in collaboration with the World Bank Livestock Micro-Reform in Agribusiness and other development partners, unveil the 11 Nigerian industrial standards and annual feed value chain. Justin Bununyu reports.
Demand for animal feeds and that of poultry has been on the increase in recent times, just as Nigeria leads Africa in feeds production. However, having a standard policy and guidelines for the production of livestock feeds is not as strong as it should be. Sequel to the unveiling of a new policy on feed production by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, on the other hand, has developed and approved 11 Nigerian industrial standards for animal feeds value chain in the country as guidelines that requires strict compliance to regulatory requirements.
I wish to charge all relevant stakeholders in the development of implementation of these standards, including media present here, to go the extra mile in ensuring the wide dissemination of information on the availability and use of these standards across the country for our collective benefit.
It means that whatever feed, either a fish feed, poultry feed, or cattle feed that is being produced in accordance with this standard will be of international standard. Take it anywhere.
So animal feed is so important, and with these standards, oh my God, the sky is the limit. Nigeria is going to go better. Farmers are going to make much more profits. We are going to have much more market access and improved production.
I know fully well now that Nigeria, we're already involved in we're already member or to participate in the African Continental Free Trade area. So number one is going to protect Nigeria being a dumping ground, because we already have rules. Let me use that word, specifications, that if you're going to bring in anything, you must comply with the standard. And also for our own manufacturers here in Nigeria, by the time they comply to that, it's going to give them access, into international market, to the African market. It's going to give them access, competitiveness. And at the end of the day, it's going to be beneficial to every one of us.
It is hoped that the development of these standards would help in no small measure to advance Nigeria's economic diversification agenda and ensure greater contribution to food availability and security in the country. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
The President Muhammadu Buhari's efforts in revolutionizing of the agricultural sector has been considered as the surest way of securing the country in terms of food sufficiency and economic rejuvenation. This is the position of guests at the South-South flag of distribution of agricultural inputs to farmers affected by the 2020 flood in Calabar, Cross River State. Correspondent Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports that the Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Mustafa Habib Ahmed, performed the flag-off.
With the topography of Cross River State, residents usually suffer more during rainy season, resulting in flooding, often devastating to the affected communities. 4,311 farmers were severely affected during the 2020 disaster in the state, as farm produce worth millions of naira were destroyed. To caution the effect, NEMA delivered items in Cross River State to assist farmers make up for their losses. Among them are 7,185 liters of herbicide, 2,874 liters of pesticide, 5,748 units of growth enhancer, 1,437 bags of 12.5 kg rice seed, 1,437 tubers of yam seed, 1,437 bags of 10 kg maize seed.
We are happy to see the response of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari.
I say thank you.
Director General of NEMA, Mustafa Habib Ahmed, said the unprecedented Green Revolution initiated by President Muhammadu Buhari has no doubt spread across the nooks and crannies of Nigeria.
I congratulate you for benefiting from this intervention. I implore you to make good use of these inputs and transform your production into viable agribusiness ventures.
And also call on farmers in Cross River State to see this initiative of the federal government as one that is aimed at increasing farmers' yield.
It is expected that the agricultural input distribution, if effectively utilized, can herald a new dawn in agricultural transformation of the country. From Calabar, Cross River State, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
Agriculture now to security. The Edo State government has recorded a slight improvement in the rate of kidnapping in the month of September. Governor Godwin Obaseki noted this while speaking after the monthly joint security meeting held to review the state's security data for crime for the month of September. Elizabeth Omoko reports.
The meeting reviewed the rate of crime and criminality in the state, with kidnapping topping the lists. Governor Godwin Obaseki says there is a significant decrease in kidnapping in the month of September compared to the month of August.
We found a slight improvement with about 101 incidents compared to last month, which was slightly higher. We noticed that this month the security agents have been able to dislodge kidnappers from the Benin-Ekpoma axis, and for the period under report, there was no incident of kidnapping between Benin and Ekpoma.
The meeting also reviewed the increase in the rate of accidents, especially the Sukumba Road accident, which claimed several lives.
We have given orders to the Federal Road Safety Corps and the Nigerian Police to make sure that the offenders, the drivers of those vehicles, are brought to book and arraigned latest by next week.
Commissioner of Police Philip Ogbadu says the police force has arrested 2 persons involved in the molestation of a lady whose video on Aye confraternity on TikTok went viral.
It's alleged that the girl was killed. The girl was not killed. It's a lie. And because of the social stigma that may be attached, we will not bring them out for you now. But you will see the boys later.
The meeting was attended by all heads of security agencies, including the Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu. In Benin, Elizabeth Omako, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Edo State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of 3 suspected cultists who were involved in the assault and dehumanizing of a social media influencer. The suspects, Omoje Zeli, John Smart Ubeide, and Tajuddin Afesuma, aged between 29 and 30 years, were arrested at various quarters in Upper Sakbomba, Upper Mission Extension area of Benin City, Edo State. A statement by the police public relations officer, Katongs Bello, says following the viral video clip containing the assault and dehumanizing of a young lady, the State Commissioner of Police, Philip Ogbadu, directed a discreet investigation and intelligence-based approach to unravel those behind the act. And now, sports. Let's join Olumide Eguntola on our sports update.
To discover budding sports talents and groom them to world-class athletes, the Chioma Ajua Foundation is to raise about 6 billion naira to construct a 5,000 capacity sports and youth development center. The Olympic medalists explained that secondary schools are involved to get children between ages 13 and 17 to groom them in 8 sports.
In Nigeria, we have talent. And the only problem here we have is that we don't want to bear the cards. We don't want to go into the villages, pick this talent.
We are giving ourselves a target of between 3 to 5 years to complete the project. But we are going to start with the indoor facility, which we intend to finish in the next 9 months.
In football, as the maiden edition of Betsy Obaseki Women Football Tournament enters the semi-final stage, Edo Queens will on Saturday attempt to qualify for the final when the team takes on current Nigeria Women Football League champions Rivers Angels. The other semi-final match pitched FC Robo of Lagos with Bayelsa Queens. From the foreign scene, actions continue on Saturday in the English Premier League as Manchester United host Everton. Norwich City will play away to Burnley. Leeds United and Watford will attempt to pick the maximum 3 points at stake.
As Brighton and Hove Albion takes on Arsenal, among other matches. With sports updates, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
That's it on Panorama today. It reached you from the Nigerian Television Authority Benin Network Center. Good afternoon.